Hey guys, Linda here from Create Your Future with a video on how you call the shots with your desires. When it comes to your desires, you call the shots. So before we begin, don't forget to check the description box below. We are having a free course on how to find your blocks and manifest fast. And also, if you would like one-on-one coaching with me, the information is also down below. So what I mean by you call the shots with your manifestation is that everything is whatever you say it is. So what you assume to be true, law of assumption, will be true. So if you think that it's hard to make money, for you it will be hard to make money. If you say that SP is a narcissist, then for you they're going to show up as a narcissist. And these thoughts can either come from your self-concept. So maybe, you have felt unworthy or not chosen in the past. Maybe you've seen those experiences in your family, like your family struggled with money, or your parents were divorced, so now you don't really have faith in relationships, or even just one thing. One thing your SP could do once, and it can throw you off. For example, SP usually calls you at 6 o'clock. Like clockwork, after work, they're calling you at 6 o'clock. And one day, it's 6:05, 6:15, 6:20. Now you're checking the phone. Now you're getting worried. And now you're giving it a negative meaning. Maybe they're talking to another girl. Maybe they're losing interest. Maybe they're not going to call. And all those things. And then guess what happens? They don't call. They ghost. Maybe there is another person. Now, obviously, it's not as instant as that. It's not like the first thing you think is going to manifest, because if that was the way it works, how many times have you had like an unfavorable thought out of like anger with like a sibling or something? Could you imagine all of those manifested? Like that would be like a really crazy toxic world to live in. However, what you are thinking dominantly and that you're giving power to and you're really putting emphasis towards, that is what is going to manifest in some way, shape, or form. So I have a little, visual that we could use. Let's use SP for example. SP can only show up with the title and the label that you give them. So, for example, if you say SP is flaky, let's do this, flaky. So now they're going to show up as flaky. It might be backwards, but you get the gist. And then you say SP never calls. And then you say SP is afraid of commitment. And maybe you want to say SP is a narcissist. You get my point. So you are putting these labels on SP. You are labeling that person what you perceive them to be, what you think they are. So have you ever met somebody, let's just say, for example, the two of us meet somebody, and you say, oh my gosh, did you meet so-and-so? She's so annoying. She's so obnoxious. I can't stand her. And then I might say, oh, really? Because to me, I think she was super funny. She was genuine. She was very playful. The same person, but two different people have two different views. Everything is neutral, okay? So the reason why two people might have two different views on that person or two different experiences with that person is because of our perception of them, which can be stemming from our mental diet, our stories, our fears, our self-concept. For example, have you ever seen, let's just say you were dating somebody and you did everything for them. You cooked for them, you cleaned for them, you supported them through a rough time. You were there for them when they were at, rock bottom, and then they break up with you. Next thing you know, you find out through some friends that that same SP is engaged to somebody after 3 months, and this girl is probably not as pretty as you think. Maybe this guy is rude or not as, doesn't treat them as well as you did. And you're thinking, I treated them like this, and they left me. This new partner has been dating them for a short period of time, didn't even do half the things that I did, and right away they're engaged, to be married, and they're living happily ever after. Why? Because that person has a different perception of SP than you did. They have a different past, a different history, a different story. So if you keep labeling them as flaky, never calls, is afraid of commitment, is a narcissist, then to you, that's the version you're going to get. That's the version that you are going to align with. That's the version of that person that's going to reflect to you. So what you want to do is say, SP loves me. Or we're going to stick that. SP chooses me. SP is committed to me and only me. Again, you get the gist of it. I'm running out of sticky notes. So now you've labeled them with these favorable things. So therefore, they're going to show up to you in that way. They're going to reflect to you in that way. Same thing when it comes to money. If you're going to say money's hard to keep, money's hard to make, you have to work really hard to make money, the lottery is impossible to win, well then how do you think money and money issues are going to reflect to you? The same way that you're labeling it. Same with a job. This job is too hard to get. I'm not experienced enough. It's out of my league. They're going to hire someone younger. They're going to hire someone older. If you keep labeling it like that, it has no choice but to reflect back to you in the way that you're labeling it. So what you need to do is always view everything positively. Always give everything good meaning. Even if it doesn't seem like it, even if it seems delulu, even if it seems hard to do, that's what you need to do. The subconscious mind doesn't know what's true and false, what's real or fake. All it knows is that, oh, so SP calls constantly and consistently? Cool. Oh, so SP loves you and adores you? That's amazing. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to show you evidence to prove that you're correct. And unfortunately, the same thing happens with negative. If you're going to say SP's flaky, they're a cheater, they don't want commitment, they are not consistent with phone calls, then subconscious is going to say, well, you say so, then I guess I got to show you proof of that too. That's how it works. And the thing you have to remember is that some people say, well, how can I see money as easy to make when all my life it's been hard to make? Well, how can I see this job being easy to get when I keep getting rejected from jobs? Well, how can I see SP as loving and adoring when he's been showing up, not the greatest for me? So, listen to this tidbit. Take this in. When you were thinking unfavorably, when you were thinking the negative story, did you have proof that SP would cheat? Did you have proof that SP wasn't going to call you? Did you have proof that the job was going to be hard to get? No, you had an assumption that that could be one of the many possibilities that could occur. Again, based on your fears, based on your assumptions, based on what your friends and family might say, based on gossip, TV, social media, limiting beliefs from culture, from your religion, from traditions and things like that. So you didn't have proof that this thing may or may not happen, but you believed it, and you believed it so much that it had to reflect out. You kept labeling it hard, he's flaky, this is not going to work out, relationships don't work out. Just because a relationship didn't work out with an ex doesn't mean relationships are never going to work out. I don't care if relationships didn't work out with 10 of your exes. The 11th boyfriend could be the one that pans out. You also didn't know about consciously manifesting back then, so you were replaying and acting the same way and reacting the same way with those past experiences. That's why you kept creating the same pattern. So yeah, you kept labeling them like that. You kept labeling that job out of your league. Money's hard to get. So it had to reflect back to you. It wasn't like you were cheated on first and then thought, SP's going to cheat on me because he did it before. That might come after, but that very first initial time that he cheated, where did that come from? You labeled it. You stuck that sticky note of cheater on it because maybe they called you late. Maybe they canceled plans. Maybe they even told you that they're not ready for a relationship and they were talking to their ex. Whatever the case may be. But you kept accepting it as final and saying he's a cheater, he's not coming back, maybe there's someone else, maybe they're not interested, label, 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 label. And they showed up that way. So the same way you were able to assume and create these like worst case scenarios, trust me, been there, done that, where like when I look back, like I don't even know where this information came from that I just like, I don't even know, imagined like the weirdest things in my head. And guess what? They happened. Whether they happened word for word or something similar to make me feel rejected or something of that nature happened. And we never had proof of that. We trusted in the unseen of something unfavorable and it happened. Just like when people say, oh, I knew he was going to cheat, then he cheated. Oh, I had a suspicion he was still talking to the ex and he was still talking to the ex. No, you're not a psychic. You didn't predict it. You were thinking it long enough without even having proof, and you created and aligned with that version of them to reflect back to that thought. You're not a psychic. You didn't predict it. You created it because you thought it enough. Therefore, if we go the opposite direction and SP loves me, SP adores me, SP's probably busy, that's why he didn't call yet. SP was probably in the shower, that's why he didn't answer my phone call. SP always calls me. He calls me constantly, consistently. We keep giving him the new labels. Again, unseen. We don't know for sure that's going to happen or not, but we are creating that version to show up in 3D. Creation is already finished. There's multiple versions of these scenarios going on. So you could either align with the version of SP being flaky, the job being hard, money being hard to get by labeling, or you can align with the version of SP that loves you, that adores you, is in a faithful, loving, committed to you, contacts you constantly, consistently. Money is easy to get. When money comes, it stays, and all that. So at the end of the day, you choose. You choose what label you want to stick on your desire. You are in control. Everyone is you pushed out. Everything is you pushed out. So keep an eye on those thoughts. Keep an eye on your mental diet and observe what you were thinking before creating that favorable thing, and observe what you were thinking before that unfavorable thing showed up. Because chances are, if you reverse engineer, you're going to say, oh, I was sticking that label here and here and here, and I was thinking that, and I was worried about this. Shoot. Okay, so now it makes sense. Now I see where that came from and how I created it. Beautiful. We don't blame ourselves. It's not your fault. We just bring awareness to the thoughts that we had, and then moving forward, we can change those thoughts. Instead of thinking SP didn't call, he's probably talking to another girl, you say SP didn't call, he's probably busy talking to his kids. You say SP didn't answer the phone, he's probably ignoring me. SP didn't answer his phone because he's in the shower. You choose. You are in control. You decide what label to stick to your desire. And on that note, I intend that this video helped. And if not, and you need more clarification, like I said before, check the links down below, and I would be glad to help you label your desires properly and favorably. So until next time, see you later.